Hello, YouTube. I'm gonna, let's see if I can shoot this right while my son takes off in his car. There are certain jobs I'm not crazy about doing. Alarms, stereos, plow packages, and trailer brake harnesses. All the aftermarket stuff. Probably for obvious reasons. They can be confusing. Every one of them's different. The kits are different. The cars are different. And then I'm OCD, so everything's got to be done right, which makes it take real long, which makes it sometimes cost prohibitive for the customer. It's just one of those things. The guys that do this are competitive, and sometimes we're not crazy about their work. Now, I'm not going to speak for all of them, but sometimes they can be real sloppy. I hate scotch locks. I hate those things. I hate just wrapping stuff in electrical tape. Everything's got to be liquid tape, heat shrink connectors, wire loom, which makes it take a long time, a real long time. Anyway, I got a 2018 Ford F-150. Guy's a friend. He asked me to put a trailer brake setup in it. He got all the stuff, which is in one of the few cases where that's what I'd rather than do. You get everything, I'll put it in, I'll figure it out. Sorry, I'm shaking. I'm trying to lean on his box. So we did, and we put it in, and I figured, you know what, since I took the time to do it, I'll shoot it. And for those that are maybe putting one of these in, maybe this will help you see the way I like to do it. It's not perfect, but I think it's better than most. This is I'll say it wrong, Redarc setup. Let me turn this around, I'll show you what I did. All right, try to do this as quick as possible because, man, I got a lot of work to do. Feed off the battery, 2 circuit breakers. One is a feed for the module under the dash, and one is a feed for the 7-pin plug in the back that'll feed the trailer brake, the breakaway brake that's in the trailer. All right, wire loom. I looped it to feed both circuit breakers. I put some terminal protector on here so hopefully the stuff doesn't rot. Like I said, heat shrink connectors, wire loom, everything's fastened. P-clamp. I did not just zip tie it sloppily to everything. Wire loom, I don't know if you can see it, it's back in here. Wire loomed all the way around. Comes in underneath the master cylinder. It's hard to see it, but way back in there is the firewall plug. And they were nice enough to give me plenty of room to make a nice small hole, put it through, keep it watertight. And that takes care of the under hood stuff. 2 cables, like I said, coming in. It shoots, let's go into wheel well here so I can show you. This is the harness that they give you with the kit. There's 2 wires in here. What happens when it went up, I split it. One wire went back into the truck, the other wire went over to the battery. What I did was, because I hate when guys zip tie this thing to the chassis, and I've seen it zip tied to brake lines and zip tied to all kinds of nasties. I actually went through a hole in the chassis, and if I can, let's see if I can show you this. Okay, let's try this again. Underneath the back, that harness came right out the, where's my chassis? If I get the angle, here's the chassis. It went all the way out the back end of the chassis and literally came out the back right there. Zip tied up nice. Well, I forgot to clip those. I got to clip those 2 pieces. Zip tied nice to the to the trailer hitch. Okay, and up to the adapter, grounded. Not much really else. There's the nice thing was the plug they give. This had a 4-pin connector, so it plugged right into the factory 4 plug, which I really can't. I don't know if I can show you. It's up in here. Where'd it go? Right there. What it does is it piggybacks into the factory 4-pin. So all you're doing is making up the other 3 wires One of them being the 24 volt constant feed, the brake control feed from the module, and a feed for the backup wire, which I got spliced in over there. That's the backup signal for the backup lights on the trailer. And then when it comes into the new connector, oh, that's an old fat guy trying to get up. It retains the 4-pin, and now you got the 7-pin, so you have both. And that's it. I do suggest a little bit of dielectric grease in there so it doesn't corrode. I'm not crazy about the way this fits in here. It does want to slide out kind of easy. I zip tied it back here to try to hold it in, so I'm not real crazy about that. But other than that, that's it. It's been checked. I have my left, my right, my brake, my backup, and that's how I like to do it. It took me far longer than it should have. That's why I don't like to do them. But I can't just do it like some of these guys do it and just zip tie it and tape it. It comes out nasty. But that's it. That's the Redarc. And another thing I forgot to mention about the Redarc trailer brake controller. There is a factory plug under the dash for the factory trailer brake module. They do sell a plug and play connector that goes from the module to the factory connector under the dash without splicing anything, which is a great idea. But because the truck isn't equipped with a trailer brake, everything else in the truck isn't there. The trailer brake, the connections through the BCM, the relay for the brake lights. There's a couple things that are missing. The back of the truck that has where it's the original 4-pin, the other wires aren't there. So you can take the Redarc or any other one of those controllers with the pigtail connector, the plug and play, plug it right into the factory plug that is under the dash. But you're dead in the water after that. That plug is not live. There's no power to it. There's, it's I guess they put it in as part of the standard harness. And if the truck was to be equipped with the 7-pin connector and the trailer brake, they would put the rest of the harness in, but they didn't. So in this case, that little plug and play harness is useless. The gentleman did buy it. It's going back in the box. He's going to have to return it. That is, I'm sure that's going to come up. Why don't you just use the plug and play? That's why I had to wire it the way I did. I was really hoping it went the other way. That would have made things real easy. I jumped on the chat with a bunch of our friends, and a bunch of our friends over there, and like, hey guys, what am I missing? And they all, no, you're not missing nothing. It's not there. So just a heads up before I get into that. All right, so that's why you have to run the circuit breakers and the individual wires and all that stuff and down the chassis, and that's that. Okay, more noise. Bye.